So I had a date last night, and it wasn't exactly a success, but there are some things that are getting better in my game. Um, so I wrote a play called An Evening of Arousal, which is about 11 routines stacked together that I kind of, had this flurry of activity going on in my head yesterday, and I just was really inspired and just thought it would be the most awesome thing to unlock, those. So, so I wrote it all out, and I was texting this girl from online, and I've got some really texting her. My initial kind of pitch was, um, come on over, and I was able to get her to come right to my doorstep on the first meeting. And I was able to do that because I said that, I hold for myself the best standards in the world, and I don't break my rules. And a rule that I have is that I don't touch on the first date. There's no touching. And if you touch me, you'll have to leave. So with a statement like that, that was strong enough for her to kind of say, like, okay, sounds legitimate. And basically what I said was, well, you'll come over. I understand you want to meet in a public place first, but why don't you come over? There's a bench outside my apartment. Just sit down. After about 5 minutes, I think your intuition is going to tell you, follow or not, right? And basically my intention is to get you incredibly wet. So that's basically what kind of my pitch was. Now in my routine list, kind of the way it starts out is kind of setting up expectations of kind of what I would like, what our experience is going to be like. And I'm not really sure if I'm doing it properly at the beginning. Again, this is highly experimental, and it didn't work. But some of the things that I did kind of convey were, after the first date in my room, there's no clothes. There's no clothes allowed in my room. Whenever the door, whenever you're in my room, clothes have to come off. My room is a nudist colony. Number 2 is, there's a few things, this isn't exactly the right order, but basically it was along the lines of, look, I'm going to be giving you my all, and I'm going to be giving you tantric orgasms all night long, basically for the first while we've got that passion and fire between us, which I'd like to keep going as long as I can. Let's just try and set a record for how many orgasms you can have in a night. But if I'm giving you my everything, then I expect you to make me woody too. And, I expect you to bring a whole bunch of outfits over. I want you to dress like a cheerleader. I need to see some eyeshadow. I want you to wear glitter and everything. Because, if I'm giving you my all, you should be giving me yours too, right? Another one was, and just like simple logistics things is like, I think those were like some of the key ones. Respect is the number one thing. We just want to share a good time together. If it gets more complicated than that, we're doing something wrong. So communication is key. And here's another one. I really like this one, and I'm going to try this out a lot more, and see what happens. But one thing that I was kind of going to use this in the arousal stage is that I kind of really want to really promote the fact that she can be open-minded with me, and basically the idea is don't be afraid to say something that you might think I might be taken aback by, because one thing I really want to promote is you just be totally open-minded, and say whatever you are feeling in the moment. For example, like right now, I want to pull your pants down and eat you out. And by kind of conveying that you can just say whatever you want, whatever your desires are in the moment, that's kind of really the cavity I want to open up and explore in her mind. And that'll open doorways to things like, do you want to take your panties off? Do you want to leave them here so I'll have something to remember you by? Do you want to drop that pussy so I can smell it? And just generally getting her to talk dirty. And then kind of really building on, what her arousals are and what she wants, and kind of, developing a sexual relationship that's really good. But none of that actually happened, because what happened is when I met up with her, it was really robotic, and I actually pulled out my phone and I was reading. I was reading from my phone. It was like, I will date you now. Please talk to the flesh robot. And it didn't go well. So she's like, what, you're acting right now, and I don't want to. And I'm not attracted to that. I just want to see you, right? And I knew that she was right. I knew that, okay, I'm underprepared for this. I admit that I'm not. This is not working. But at the same time, I also knew that I was giving away control. And the moment I gave away control, the idea of doing what I wanted dissolved, and she was in control then. And that's not where I ever want to be. Always, for me, the way I see it is you always have to be in control. But that's not saying that it didn't, the night wasn't a total failure. I mean, I'm young, don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm still learning my game. And, I was kind of, really kind of watching the, I guess Mystery calls it micro-calibration, but it's when you do like random word toss, like for example, right now a practice that I'm trying to work on is, when I'm with a woman, and then kind of generally, applying this to women only, but when I'm with a woman, my objective is every time I open my mouth, some kind of sexual suggestion is conveyed. So just wording things with like an NLP twist, where every time I talk, something will tingle inside her. Just kind of positioning myself to deeply get into her headspace there, so that, gradually, right? Gradually and slowly, and just make her relax and get more comfortable. And eventually, it's not me that's doing the seducing, it's her mind that will trigger her body and go back to her mind, and she'll seduce herself and just hopefully get so horny that she has to get a release, and I'm the guy that's in front of her. But she had a really good poker face, and I kind of felt like it was a bit of a power struggle. When we first met up, like I dropped some pretty ballsy stuff, like, it was kind of like, yeah, come over for an amazing sexual experience kind of thing, right? And she was kind of like, I'm here. I think when she met up, she was honestly hoping that would happen and have like amazing sex. But again, I think I fucked it up because, I was just not at that level. But it turned into a bit of a power struggle where, and that's fine because, I think I know what I did wrong, and we'll be improving that. But in general, things are going really well. The last 3 or 4 women I've talked to have kind of turned out to be a little bit bitchy, kind of moving forward, I'm just going to be treating women like dogs. I'm really, but you have to discipline it so it doesn't shit on your couch and chew your stuff up and stuff like that. So you got to really, you know, call it on its shit, right? And just in general, when you have a bad day, just bounce back, be resilient, and when the game, when you have a bad day, just turn it around and keep on smiling, and the best is yet to come. So that's what's new here in Vancouver, and yeah.